Hello. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the testing environment, the sample company that Intuit, the company that makes QuickBooks, provides for us to use to go and give a test drive of QuickBooks Online. Anybody can use this, and you can't save anything. So anything you do in the testing environment goes away as soon as you leave, and when you come back, everything looks the way it was the first time you went into it. So let's go ahead and look at it. You need to use a certain URL. So the URL is qbo.intuit.com/redir, redirect, and then /test drive. When you go there, it makes you show that you are not a robot. I am not a robot. Then we click continue. So this is our testing environment. This is our made-up company that Intuit provides. It's already got data and information in there, and we can add to it if we want to, but as soon as we leave, everything goes back the same. So you can see right now the checking account has a balance of $3,621.93. Savings, they have a $200 and $800 savings. Then they has a MasterCard balance of $304.96 at the bank. And by providing us with this information, we're able to see a business that's already in action. So this is a Craig's Design and Landscaping Service. And we can go ahead and test different things out and see if they work and learn how to do them. So first of all, let's look at the new button. So this is a good area for going into if you want to add something, a transaction. Either you make a sale, so here's the stuff under customers for sales and collecting on sales, invoicing customers. These are all the kinds of things that you would see under the customer area. Vendors are companies or individuals that we buy products or services from, and so if we're buying them, then they're often expenses. Are we going to write a check? Are we going to get a bill? These are the different things that go along with the vendors. Employees. Now, we're not going to use the payroll system for QuickBooks, but we'll learn how to do payroll manually. This is the information that we would use for that. And then here's some other stuff, including making a deposit, and an important one is doing the journal entry. Now let's go ahead and walk through the sidebar. We'll start with banking, and you can see the different things that are associated with banking. I'll just click on the main area. These are the different accounts that you have. You have a checking account, you have a savings account, and you have a MasterCard account. And in the checking account, you can see the different transactions. Notice that you have a checking account balance. This is the balance that the bank has, and then you have the balance that your books show. So that would be what we would do a reconciliation for. Not at this time, but at some point. Then you have your savings account. Again, you have an account balance in QuickBooks, and then you have the account balance at the bank. So there's a difference there, and you need to reconcile that at some point. And then you have the credit card balance. This is because this example company is connected to the bank, so that's why they're able to get this information for the checking, savings, and MasterCard. If not, then you'll just know what's in QuickBooks. You would just have this information because you wouldn't have a connection. And that can be fine too. If you click in app transactions, they have the availability to connect to certain apps, bringing in the information directly into QuickBooks that way. Rules is a good way to automatically set up transactions every time you buy, for example, from a certain vendor, and you can have it set up to be categorized or put into a project, for example, and that way things get automatically done. Tagging is another way to get further subcategorizations so that you can better understand spending and sales because you've tagged them at subcategory levels. Receipts is another way to automate some of the transactions. By bringing receipts in automatically, they're able to put them into your books by looking at the receipt. So I said that nothing we do in the testing environment is going to stay if we leave. So let's see that in action. If I go to expenses, and this is just for fun, we'll add a new transaction, And again, this is just for fun, just so you can see that things will go back the same. So I'm going to just pick a random, we'll pick Cigna Healthcare, and the payment account is we'll use the MasterCard. We're going to use the MasterCard. And so this is health insurance, so let's see if we can find that. We don't have health insurance, but we'll pick insurance. And then we'll put a large amount. We'll put 100,000, and then we'll save that and close it. Now I'm going to X out of there, and then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And then notice the MasterCard now has a balance of well over $100,000 because we added that $100,000 purchase of insurance to the MasterCard. What happens if we leave and come back? So I'm going to sign out. Okay, so I've signed out. Now I'm going to sign back in. So here's the same URL. Notice that the MasterCard balance is no longer over $100,000. It's now back to what it was before we made that change. And so that just shows you that the testing environment, doesn't matter what you do, it's always going to go back to the way it was. It's just here for you to learn with and to practice. So if it's a good idea to use the testing environment, let's say you have a real company and you're learning how to do something for that real company. Instead of trying to learn how to do it in the real company, go to the test environment, learn how to do it. When you figure it out, then go into your real company and do that. So it's a really good tool for either learning or training.